Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nick Amboy. Before I start my speech, I wanted to share my three note cards. They're one-sided. I used permanent ink, so they kind of bled through. And then I have a visual aid here. It's not printed out, but I'll attach it to the end of this video, so everyone can see it clearly. But it is a salary research based on different career fields. So I will be directing your attention towards these documents during the speech, and you can reference them at the end of the video. So good afternoon. Today I would like to share with everyone something that will really help benefit you guys during some point in your career, whether you are a college student just looking for their first job once you graduate, or like me, you're a part-time student shifting careers to a different field because that's what you're going to school for. So you're going to have to take an entry-level salary most likely when you shift careers or you're first starting out. And at some point with your knowledge and your skill building and your successes at this company, you become worth more. You become more valuable than the original salary that you took. So you're going to want to go in and set up a meeting, but you want to ask yourself some questions before you go into these meetings. Now, I've gathered these questions based on some research that I've done, based on my personal experience. I've worked in retail for a long time, and I worked at a shop kind of like Lowe's. It was a chain. We had a big lumber yard, a feed lot, and a hardware store. And I worked every job in the store, all the way up to being the youngest manager in our company's history. So I have a little bit of personal experience on both sides of the desk, and I would really like to help bring my knowledge to you guys today. So that being said, the three questions that you should ask of yourself are: what's the best time to ask for a pay increase, how you should prepare for a meeting discussing a pay increase, and how you should act in these kind of meetings. It's a little bit different than going in for a job interview. So we're going to cover those three things today. The first thing that we're going to discuss is timing. You don't want to go in when you're at the peak of business and things are crazy, especially in retail. I would have people ask for a pay increase meeting when it was busy beyond belief, and we didn't really have a time to have a meeting of anything meaningful during this period of time. On the flip side, you don't want to ask for a meeting when it's so slow, like I've had employees ask for, when it's so slow that we're so focused on the budget, or we've had salary constraints where even if I think you're a qualified candidate, I wouldn't be able to give you a pay increase. So find a median in between those two things, and then come off of success. So either the boss mentioned to you that you've done really well over the last few weeks, you made a big sale, but come off of something good, so your boss has a good taste in their mouth about you, and they'll take you very seriously when it comes to setting up a meeting for you. The second thing we're going to discuss is doing your research, and that brings us to these documents that I researched. This is from payscale.com. It takes about 30 seconds once you get on the website to do your research. So I did it for two different fields, actually three. I'll put all three up on at the end of the video, but this is for a business manager. So if you're a business major, anywhere your starting salary is $36,000 to maybe on the high end $104,000 a year, and then you can go, and then this is for me, a retail associate. So dollars per hour, you're going to make anywhere from $8 an hour to about $18.50 an hour, depending on what type of retail store you work in. So, and then I'll post the numbers for a couple other degrees at the end of my video. But you want to do that research, and based on your successes in the company, what you've achieved, and how long you've worked there, figure out a number that's not above the maximum pay, that's not below the entry level. You want to find yourself where you think you're worth and ask for that, and have your number in your head before you go to the meeting. Second thing to prepare is have a list of your successes. So things you've done well, you work overtime, you worked on extra projects, you made a big sale, and something that you can really be proud of. And then write down your goals as well. So how you would like to grow with the company. What are your professional goals? And then that goes for anywhere you work, whether you're a nurse or you're an engineer or you're a business manager. The third thing is how to act at this meeting. So when you go into these meetings, you want to be prepared, like I said, take these lists of successes and goals with you, and then use that to start a dialogue. Have a conversation, a calm conversation with your boss, and give them a copy of your successes and goals and go over them. Find one that you can focus on, maybe two, and go back and forth and explain why you deserve this increase. Not why you need it, not the outside things like you got not things like you have a commute and you need the extra money. Show why, even if that's true, show why you deserve it, because you've earned it based on blank, blank, and blank. And then once they've made this investment in you in the future, you're going to continue to prove that you're worth this investment by doing this, this, and this. So go into this meeting, and also key, don't be afraid to hear the word no. You might not get it, but stay professional, take the criticism, and learn from it, because maybe next time you'll be more prepared. So we discussed when you should ask for a pay increase, how to prepare, and how to act when you get there. In my experience in retail, I had to ask for pay increases several times. The first time I got a meeting with my bosses, I was denied the pay increase. I was not familiar with my boss, and this really gave me a lot of face time with them, and they got to know me a lot better. And then the next quarter, there was actually a job opening with a large pay increase, and I was eligible for that, and they gave it to me in the next go around. So being successful in these meetings can really help you in the future and also help you in the short term. So that's all I have prepared for today. I'll take a few questions. I have a few questions already prepared that I'd like to answer for you. So the first one is, what are some other tips that were not mentioned today? So another tip that I would like to share with you goes along with something I already said, but having your successes and goals written out is very important. It can help direct your conversations it can help point your conversations in the right direction, But you want to find maybe one or two key ones that you can really build off of and you can really be proud of. So an example is my second pay increase that I went in for after I had been promoted. I was head of a department, and I had turned the department around, and I had improved sales in that department by X and X amount of numbers. So I broke it down, and in there I was very specific on how I helped benefit the company as one of my successes. And I took that to the company, and I was very articulate on how that specific thing and what I did in order to improve the company's performance in that area. And that's a specific example of a tip that a lot of people don't do in these type of meetings from my personal experience. Another thing is, does having a relationship with your boss help in this type of setting? And I would say yes. I would say having a professional relationship with your boss in which you know their habits and which you know their personality and their tendencies will really help you gear the conversation to a way that will impress your boss the most. So if you don't know your boss, like I did my first time, I went into a pay increase meeting. I didn't really know them, and I was really at a disadvantage because I didn't know what they would want to talk about. The second go around, I had more of a relationship with my boss. I knew what he valued in the store. I knew what his bosses valued, and I was able to bring that to the conversation. So it was a little bit more impressive. And then the third question is, do these questions help with promotional interviews as well? And I would say yes, but in addition, you want to make sure when you go into a promotional interview that you do more research, because if you're getting promoted from being like a CNA to you're a team lead now, like you're in charge of all the CNAs, but you don't know what that job entails. You want to make sure that you have done research, so that way if you get asked questions about it, you're able to answer that knowledgeably. And then if you're stuck and you don't know the answer to a question, don't be afraid to say no. But those are all the questions I hope you guys enjoyed both my question and answers and my speech. Thank you.